Hello, I'm Sharon Natoli, and in this video I'm sharing 5 styles that you can use to create influence when you speak. Now, when you speak, you're probably trying to do one of 3 things. You're either offering an opinion, making a contribution, or sharing a thought or an idea. Or you might be questioning or clarifying, wanting to understand something. Or you might be speaking to create influence. So in this video, I'm talking about the latter. How do we speak and what styles can we use to create the outcome that we're really looking to create when we speak? Now, in this video, I'm assuming that number 1, you have the clarity around what it is that you want, so you know the outcome that you're looking for. And secondly, that you have the courage and the agency to speak up. And so what I'm focusing on is the how part of speaking. So how can you speak in a way that creates that influence? Now, Robin Sharma said that we're always influencing the people around us in some way. And so why not influence them in a way that creates an outcome that we're looking for? Now, the 5 ideas that I'm sharing with you come from the book by Lois Frankel called Nice Girls Don't Stand Out or Speak Up. And of course, we do want to stand out and speak up. And these are the 5 styles that she suggests using to create the influence and the outcome that you want. So the first style is persuasion. And persuasion is all about influencing people to come across to your perspective or to create the outcome that you're looking for by using facts and data, maybe statistics, case studies, even stories. So this technique of influence is particularly good when you're seen to be knowledgeable in the area. You might be an expert, and so you can draw on those stories that you might have up your sleeve, or the case studies that you have, or the evidence that you've read to really help to convince people of your perspective. So this often works really well as a technique, particularly in a work setting and if you're seen to be an expert in the area in which you're talking about. So the first style of influence is persuasion. Now, the second style of influence is assertion. Now, assertion is about where we're stating or we're really clear about what it is that we want. So assertion works really well when we know the outcome that we're wanting to create, and we can state where we are now and where we want to go, and that to fill that gap we can provide some kind of an incentive to the person that we're speaking with to help make that action or to help make the change that we're wanting. So this works really well when you're really clear about what it is that you want. So we might use this in a social setting. For example, we might say to our partner, well, every time Saturday night rolls around, we seem to be making last minute decisions about where we're going to go or what we're going to do. And this kind of has me feel frustrated. So that's stating where you are now. What I'd really love to do is to talk with you about how we can get better planned so that we can simply go out and have a good time. So that's the outcome that you want. And so the incentive that sits in the middle may be something like, I think if we can plan ahead a little bit better, then we can probably get better tickets to the cinema. We can probably even save money because we're booking ahead and perhaps getting early bird seats. And we probably won't have to wait for a table in a restaurant if we book well ahead. So let's have a chat about how we can decide earlier what we're doing on a Saturday night and plan ahead. So that might be an example of how you can use the second style of influence, which is assertion, to get what it is that you want. The third style of persuasion you can use is what I call connection and what Lois Frankel calls in her book Bridging. Connection is all about asking someone else questions, enrolling them and getting their input and creating that bridge or that connection with the person as you make the decision about the action that you're going to take. So this technique about connection and bridging and involving someone in the decision is really useful when you're wanting to maintain or build a relationship. So if I use that example of the Saturday night again, you might actually start by asking a question rather than stating where you are and what the outcome is that you want. So you might say something like, what do you think about our Saturday nights? It feels a bit like you're getting a little frustrated because we're always making last minute decisions. Am I on the right track with that? So you might start off with something like that to involve the person in the conversation and then lead them to the outcome that you're looking for. So that's the third style of influence, which is all around connection and creating that bridge with somebody. The fourth style of influence is inspiration, or what Lois Frankel calls attraction. Now, inspiration is really useful when you have an idea that you're wanting to enroll someone in, or you're wanting to really sell this new idea to someone. So what you do in this case is that you create a common ground, and then you paint a picture of a better future, and you create some kind of emotional engagement around that. So in that case, if we use the example of the Saturday nights again, you might say something like, it feels like we're both feeling a little bit frustrated about our Saturday nights because we're not really planning ahead. Wouldn't it be great if we knew exactly what we wanted to do ahead of time, and so we could simply go out, have a good time, and spend less time trying to make a decision at the last minute? And so what you're doing in that case is really creating that emotional appeal, painting a picture of a better future, which is one where we've decided what we're going to do on a Saturday night. We know well ahead of time, and we can just get out there and have a great time. The fifth style of influence is what I call evacuation, and what Lois Frankel refers to as moving away. It's not really a style of influence, but it's more a technique to have up your sleeve for when things just seem to be getting a little bit emotional, a little bit heated, and the best thing to do is to simply take a break and to come back when everybody's feeling a little bit more emotionally stable. If you do that, when you do come back and regroup, you're then more likely to get the outcome that you're looking for. I hope you found those 5 techniques of value when you're wanting to speak to create influence and to create and generate an outcome. So just a little bit of a recap. The first one was persuasion. That's where you use facts and data, maybe stories and case studies to support your point, and it's really useful when you're seen as an expert in an area. The second one is assertion, and assertion is where you state where you are now, state where you want to be, and create some kind of an incentive to have action be taken to fill that gap in the middle. So that's particularly useful when you know exactly what it is that you want. The third one is to create connection with the person, to really listen, to involve them, to ask them questions about what they think in terms of the outcome that you're looking to create. And that's particularly beneficial when you're looking to build and maintain a relationship with someone. The fourth technique was inspiration, and that's where you're perhaps wanting to sell an idea to someone. And what you do is you create a common ground, you paint a picture of the future, and then you involve them by emotionally appealing to them in some way. And then the fifth one is evacuation, or simply taking a break and regrouping at a later time. And that's particularly useful when emotions are running high. If you'd like to connect with me further, then please visit my website where you'll find information about my programs and upcoming events. And certainly feel free to connect with me on Instagram at Sharon Natoli Speaks.